One of their prime movers in the middle is Dylan Shiel, and he's been good enough to join us on Sportsday. Dylan, hello, mate.
G'day, Sam and Gerard. How are you guys?
We're going well. How many pre-seasons is this now for you, Dylan?
Oh, Gerard, I think it's number 12, I think.
Yeah.
Goes pretty quick, doesn't it?
Indeed it does. I can still remember as a young bloke down at EFL Aspinall. Now you've got 12 pre-seasons under your belt. This one much different to any of the others?
They're all hard, but yeah, of course. When you got a new coach coming in with some new personnel leading the footy department, there's going to be a few changes, but they're still hard. That's for sure.
Now, we just heard from David King, Dylan. Can you attest to any of what he's talking about there? Zone defence training, McGrath halfback, drastic improvements. Is that ringing true for you, or is he found himself a little off the mark?
Yeah, look, there's some. Yeah, McGrath's spending a bit of time with defence. I sort of think he finished off the season last year playing behind the ball anyway. But I think Brad's keen just to have each player play in their preferred position. Where they play their best footy, and Andy has the ability to do both that in defence and midfield. So he's a versatile player, and I'm excited for his season to come up. He's training well. He's running really well. So it's exciting for him. And yeah, look, we're trying to improve all parts of our game, and Brad has got a really good grasp on what the modern game looks like, and there's been a few tweaks with how we're trying to defend and how we're trying to attack.
You certainly had a magnificent second half to the season. Might have even been a little bit longer than that when they pushed you back into the inside mid role. You hit as good a form as I think I've seen you play. Is that role the same for you next year or this year?
Yeah, I think so, Gerard. Speaking to Brad, as we sort of touched on in my last answer, he's keen to have us play in our best positions, yep. And certainly feel like I've sort of demonstrated my best footy throughout my career as a mid. Not that I wasn't playing that in previous seasons. We're just obviously trying to get a bit more flexibility with our group. And that sort of resulted in guys not spending as much time in their preferred spot. So it was nice to hit some form. And yeah, I agree with you, Gerard. It was probably some of the best form I've played in my career. So that was nice. Just unfortunate that we finished the season the way we do, and it's hard to look at that season in a good way.
How much are you doing structurally at this time of the year?
Yeah, plenty. And it's probably more so than most clubs having a new coach come in and wanting to make a few shifts with, like I said, almost all parts of our game. The way that we defend, the way that we attack, what we look like as a stoppage group as well. So it's been great. There's there's a lot of new learnings, a lot of focus on obviously improving all parts of our game. We've been a little bit off it for a few years, so I'm excited in what's happening.
Can I, without reheating the old soup, but I'm just fascinated to your response from off the back of it. We don't need to go through what happened with Luke Parker again, Dylan, but my interest is when something like that happens, and you might think, geez, is that what he thinks of me, or is that what the competition thinks of me? I wonder what my teammates think of me. Do you do a bit of a stock take on some of those areas of the more physical nature of footy and say, well, where am I at in that space? Because I've never thought that about you as a player, and I'm sure you haven't either, but did it refocus you on some of those more physical elements? Because your tackle numbers, I reckon, went up markedly after that. Did you spend a bit of time in that space thinking about those areas of the game, and then how do you turn something like that into a positive or a learning?
No, I didn't, Sam. No, it didn't bother me. In short, mate. We obviously weren't playing good footy at the time, but yeah, I guess when you play better footy, most of your stats are going to increase. Yeah.
What's the upside for the Bombers this year?
Oh, I think we've got a really good talented young group coming through. I think guys like Archie Perkins and Nick Cox, who are entering their third year, have got plenty to offer. Obviously with Coxie, we haven't seen a lot of him in the last season or so through injury. So I'm really excited to see us to, get a healthy list and, make sure we got, our best players out there for most of the year. So, guys like him, and I'm really liking the look of Elijah. I think he'll spend a bit of time through mid and forward. And, Ben Hobbs is obviously developing nicely as well. So, we've got some really good players coming through. But, I'm also, liking, some of our more senior players. And the incoming of Sam Wiedemann as well. I think can complement our forwards really well. So, yeah.
200 games awaits you, all things going well for round one. Dylan, what does that milestone mean for you?
Yeah, look, I've sort of crept up pretty quickly when you sort of reflect on your whole career, and you kind of like the idea of staying young and being around the 100-game mark. But I guess if you spend enough time in the league, it's going to come and hit you. So I'm just super proud to be able to get there, and I kind of don't want to think I'm getting too close to the end, but I like to think I've got a lot more footy ahead of me. So it'll be nice to take out my firstborn out there, get through the banner and enjoy the moment with my friends and family. But it'll be even better if we can get the win. That's for sure. So but I mean, it's a great feeling to be able to get to 200.
Well, it's a fantastic achievement. I think you can get to 300. So just you park this one and then you move on, and hopefully there's some finals down the track and not too far down the track. And there's so many sides can make the 8, of which Essendon is one. It could happen easily this year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it'll easily happen, Gerard. I mean, that's just respect to the guys, to the teams that are in the 8 coming off last season. But we're certainly going to be trying to, and most teams, in terms of the talent separation from top to bottom, it's probably not as much as what the public really think. It's which teams can connect and execute the game plan that they've been training. That's why you get the teams at the top and the teams at the bottom. So I'm really excited for the group. I'd love to be back playing finals. I had a bit of a taste of it at my last club, and I just really want my teammates to be able to experience that, and I think they deserve it as well. I think my teammates in the club deserve to feel and achieve that one day in their careers.
And Tippin Woody, how's he looking?
Yeah, Tipper's looking good. He moves well. He's just got these twinkle toes where his balance around the contest and the forward line is always something nice to see. So, they're obviously looking after Tipper from a strength and conditioning point of view. So, they're trying to make sure that they don't overcook him, and I'd imagine, and, we just want him to be able to get back and play consistent footy at the higher level we know he can produce.
What about Elijah Sardis? There'd be a lot of Essendon fans liking what they saw in the build-up to the draft. How's he tracking? What's impressed you about him, Dylan?
I mentioned him before. He's I like the look of Elijah. I just think I love the way he just goes about hunting the footy around the contest. He gets low and right over it. He's not afraid to cop a knock over the head as well. He's been really good at getting a few free kicks from putting his head over it, which is always a great sign of a first year player willing to get in and get dirty. So his hands are good, and just looking forward to, obviously seeing him, build his game and eventually playing some footy.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing just exactly what awaits for Essendon in season 2023. Dylan, obviously your 200 games from a personal point of view. Congratulations in advance with that one. And we hope it's a successful season, and we hope that the preseason is a special one leading into the year as well. Thanks for sharing a bit of it with us.
Yeah, no, thanks, Sam. Hopefully I can stay healthy between now and round one. So
I don't want to jinx you. I really don't want to be the person that jinxes you.
Nah, of course not. No, I'll look after myself. And appreciate it, guys. I'm looking forward to what we can do in the coming years. So it's exciting times.
Dylan Shiel with us on Sportsday. 1300 736 736 from Bombers fans. Harcourt's open line if you'd like to have a chat about that. A little insight into life under Brad Scott. Made point of it, his understanding and his grasp on the modern game. Gerard, we remember that there was a 2-time preliminary final efforts for North Melbourne when Brad Scott was in charge.
Yep.
What's a realistic expectation on Essendon next year in his first year as coach?
Oh, I think they would be aiming for the 8. I mean, their best footy last year was pretty good. Saw them have some terrific wins, but they just can't keep. They haven't been able to keep it together for long enough. So they'll be aiming for the 8, and I think based on what I've seen, they should give it a crack.
Give us a call.
But there's 12 sides in that same position.
Oh, yeah. I've got no doubt that next year will be just as evenly contested and just as hard to figure out in the lead up to as last season's was.